First story. OP's girlfriend family badmouthed OP in front of her in different language. And she did nothing. But OP knows the language. Can I ever rebuild the trust? A bit of background. I'm a 29-year-old man who met my girlfriend, a 27-year-old woman, when we both moved to a new town for work about a year ago. We hit it off right away, and we have been together ever since. Her family is Portuguese, and from the beginning, I've made efforts to be involved and get to know them, despite the language barrier. I've met her family several times, and on the surface, they've always been nothing but welcoming and nice to me. However, they have a habit of speaking Portuguese around me, which I initially didn't mind because I understood it was their first language, and it made them comfortable. Wanting to connect with them on a deeper level and surprise my girlfriend, I recently began learning Portuguese. At a recent family dinner, my new language skills unexpectedly revealed a hurtful reality. As I listened, I realized they were talking about me in derogatory terms, calling me dumb, among other insults right in front of me, all while smiling and acting friendly. From what I've gathered, my girlfriend understands what's being said, but doesn't seem to join in on the insults. However, she hasn't done anything to stop it either, occasionally trying to hide her reactions or snickers. I feel betrayed and humiliated, and I am questioning the integrity of our relationship and her loyalty to me. I'm at a crossroads and unsure of how to address this situation. Confronting her family directly seems daunting, especially considering the language barrier and not wanting to cause a rift. However, I also feel that I can't simply ignore such disrespect, and I'm concerned about what this means for the future of our relationship, especially if we were to have a family of our own. Should I confront my girlfriend about her family's behavior and express how hurtful it is to me? How can I navigate this situation in a way that respects my relationship with her, but also stands up for myself? Any insights, experiences, or suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Comments. Symbol Farron. If she's not standing up for you, she's not much of a partner. It doesn't sound like she's scared of them or anything. You could calmly tell her that you didn't want to spoil it, but you've been learning the language, and you're disappointed at the way she and her family talk about you. But what could she say that would excuse it? If you want to be petty, you could wait until they insult you at the next dinner and respond in Portuguese. Thanks for the food, and this dumb guy is going to see himself out. It was nice knowing you all. I just don't understand being this rude and frankly cruel. You sound like a nice person. OP. I think that even if I tell her, I know it does not change how I feel about her, because she still did not stand up for me and allowed it to happen without telling me. Top77. You should join in Portuguese the next time they are roasting you. See how they all react when they find out they understand what they are saying. Also, break up with her. OP. I wish I was brave enough to do that. Update. 4 days later. This past Sunday, we visited her family again, and not surprisingly, the pattern of rude comments continued. This time, they called me dumb, among other things, and everyone laughed. I laughed along with them, and then asked them to pass the salad in Portuguese. I could see the awareness and embarrassment spreading across the tables, one by one. I guess you don't make friends with salad. The dinner that followed was inevitably awkward. No one made a scene, but the atmosphere was tense. On the way home, I told my girlfriend that I wanted to break up. To my surprise, she didn't even ask why, which only confirmed my decision was the right one. Given that we both moved to this town for work, and were living in a company-supplied rental, I reached out to our HR department to explain my situation. They were understanding and agreed to arrange a separate place for me. In the meantime, I'm staying at a hotel until everything is sorted out. I honestly feel empty about it now, empty inside. It's been a roller coaster, and now there's sort of nothing. Maybe I will feel better tomorrow. Update. I spent today packing my things, and she spent it crying. It was a difficult day for both of us. Thank you for all of the comments, support, and messages. I will update here tomorrow, but I need to rest right now. It has been very difficult to process. Comments. Expression little. That was a pretty baller way to call them out, bro. Juliaskic. I have a feeling she's going to come back and ask for forgiveness. OP will be the one that got away. Deesnitsem. You don't understand how perfectly you handled this. Yeah, they stink, but that doesn't reflect on you. Their meanness was not deserved on your part. I'm glad you knew your value enough to end things with your girlfriend. You deserve better. Just imagine sitting with your family and saying horrible things in another language. Mr. Rainbow 12. I'm going to have, you don't make friends with salad, in my head all day now. You are putting yourself first, and that's a good thing. I won't feel that way for now, but it will eventually. Second story. OP thinks that her husband is cheating after he secretly bought lingerie that was too small for her. I'm trying to figure out if there's a reasonable explanation behind this, because I can't believe he would cheat on me. my husband, and I have been married for years and have raised 2 beautiful children. He's always been a loving, romantic, affectionate, and perfect husband. I never had any doubts about him. I have an athletic body. I'm very healthy, but I am not small. We have joint finances, and I noticed an unusual purchase. My husband had bought expensive lingerie and arrived today. I looked into it. On one hand, it's too small for me and built for a petite, skinny woman with no muscles. And I have never worn lingerie. I don't even know if I would be confident in lingerie, and he knows my size. He's bought clothes for me before, including underwear, and has never been wrong. This is clearly the wrong size. It is way too small for me. The brand has undercarriage, waist, and hip sizes. My husband is handsome and has women throwing themselves at him. I have no doubt that if he wanted to, he could easily get an affair partner. On the other hand, it could conceivably be an insanely tight fit for me. And he's shipping it to our home address instead of his office. He didn't have anything incriminating on his phone. But we share phones, so it could mean nothing. WIBTA for confronting him about the lingerie. I don't want my husband to feel that I don't trust him, but I don't have any other explanations. Edit. I have never worn lingerie in my life. He hasn't bought me lingerie before. It's very frilly and cute, not something that would suit me even if it fit. He is a perfectionist and has never bought me the wrong size of clothes. If it was a mistake in sizing, he would have called weeks ago when it was ordered. The lingerie has actual measurements, and my husband knows my measurements. Edit. I am not going to be home when the package arrives. I don't open packages anyway. It's way too small to fit my husband. I know a few women it would fit. I don't usually go through credit card transactions. If I hadn't looked at them to cancel a subscription, I wouldn't have noticed the pricey credit card charge to a lingerie store. Our children are young. If they stole the credit card, my husband would have immediately noticed and shut it down. It's entirely inappropriate for children. It's way too small to fit my husband. I know a few women it would fit. He is a perfectionist and has never bought me the wrong size of clothes. If it was a mistake in sizing, he would have called weeks ago when it was ordered. The lingerie has actual measurements, and my husband knows my measurements. Comments. Jobobtexon. Give it a few days. If he doesn't surprise you with it, then start questioning him. SPTS junkie. If you open your present, and it's a Joni Mitchell CD, then he's definitely cheating. Lucianova 17. Do not confront him. Best case scenario. He bought you lingerie and made an honest mistake about the size. It happens. Worst case scenario. He is cheating on you. If you confront him, you alert him to the fact that you suspect him, and he will be more careful to conceal himself, and you won't have the physical evidence you might need later for a divorce case. Watch and see what he is up to too. Look for other classic signs of cheating. If he turns out to be in the clear, don't tell him that you thought he was cheating either. Update. 2 days later. The lingerie arrived this morning. I wasn't home. I run errands in the morning on weekends. I have a routine. I read a lot of comments, although I couldn't read all of them. I got a lot of creepy DMs, but a few supportive ones. I still emphatically believe in my heart that my husband wouldn't cheat on me. So I gathered up my courage and came home earlier than I usually do. I tried to talk to my husband, but he told me to go get ready for dinner. On the nightstand was a box with the lingerie. He gives me gifts like that, sometimes on the nightstand or on the bed. I can't explain how much relief I felt. It was honestly so beautiful and delicate, with lace, straps, and a floral design. But then I tried it on, and it was way too small and incredibly tight. I'm toned and in great shape, especially for my age, but it just made me feel lumpy and ugly. I'm insecure about my looks and age. I'm not as beautiful as I once was. My husband knocked a few minutes later, as I was crying, and asked if I needed help putting it on. I told him no, but he still came in, and I felt ugly and an emotional mess. He looked excited and told me I looked beautiful. I told him it was too small, and he asked me where and how it felt, and I eventually broke down and told him that it gave me rolls and extra lumps and how I saw the transaction. And I was afraid he didn't want me anymore because the lingerie was too small and frilly for me. We hadn't been intimate in weeks, and a bunch of other emotional stuff. He coaxed me into calming down and being intimate. And getting all of that stuff off my chest helped me calm down. And then we talked some more. I apologized for ever thinking he could betray me, and my husband forgave me. He apologized for being distant and making me needy. I told him I couldn't believe that I freaked out over him making a mistake in sizing for the first time. He said he didn't make a mistake. He bought it too small on purpose because he liked the idea of me being uncomfortable and squirming in too little lingerie. It made sense. The top and bottom weren't the absolute smallest size, but they were just large enough that I could squeeze in and be incredibly uncomfortable. Some of the accessories were the right size for me. He said he thought I would be uncomfortable, but didn't think I would cry or be desperate for his affection. And he liked it a lot and wants to continue exploring this. I told him we had to do it with cheaper lingerie. It's odd, but whatever floats his boat. I'm glad he was honest about what he likes, because he could have just gone along with my assumption that he made a mistake in sizing and didn't double check. I don't think we're going to make it to dinner. We're probably going to have takeout, which the kids love. Edit. There was no dinner reservation planned. It was just a ruse. And for other stuff, I didn't want too much information about my kids out there. But I still got a few creepy DMs. So I definitely want to warn people about that. Edit. My husband asked if I wanted to accompany him on a business trip in a couple months. He doesn't take trips often. I work from home, but I didn't know what I would do there alone in a hotel room. I told him that, and he said that he wanted my company and joked that he couldn't leave me alone since I got really upset after not being intimate with him. Honestly, he'd had to book the tickets, and it would cost us our own money and a sitter. But my husband can handle that stuff. We're eating pizza, and he's asking why I've been glued to my phone for the past 2 days. Comments. No requirement 24/20. I'm glad it was for you. His kink is a little, I'm not sure of the word, but maybe next time he needs to talk to you first before involving you in a kink he wants to try. It's the right and polite thing to do. But other than that, I'm glad it was a happy ending for you both. Woozy burrito. Wait, what? He bought it too small on purpose because he liked the idea of you being uncomfortable getting into the lingerie. And he wants to continue exploring this. That made sense. Did I stumble into a terrible erotica sub? That's awful. What's going on? I'm so confused. Muted appeal 823. Same reaction. It makes sense. How? How does this make sense? I guess it's better than cheating, I think. OP makes a lot of now deleted comments on the same thing. It's physical. He never mentioned liking me or being hurt or upset about my insecurities. He comforted me and calmed me down. And he only ever said he liked the physical stuff. I know it's weird, and I would never be into it, but I trust my husband. My husband loves me. He would never emotionally hurt me. He would never try to hurt my feelings on purpose. He's not that kind of person. He's never been that kind of person. He calmed me down and was listening to all my frustrations and insecurities. I know a lot of them sound dumb, and they are. I know most people don't think that almost 3 weeks without intimacy isn't a lot. But we used to be intimate almost every day. I was crying about that, and he asked if I wanted to be intimate. I said yes, and I wanted to be intimate. He likes the physical parts of it, I think. He didn't want to hurt me or hit my insecurities. He didn't think I would cry or do any of that. He thought I would just be physically uncomfortable in the lingerie because it was tight and I wasn't used to it. And he comforted me the entire time and told me that he liked how I physically clung onto him and physically cried. Not the actual emotional stuff. He wouldn't want to hurt me, actually. People are saying a lot of things in this post. More people are saying he's cheating than in my original thread, where most people aren't. A lot of people think he's being mean, which he isn't. He's a loving husband, and he cares about me. And a lot are saying it's fine, and they're happy for me. And that is the real thing. My husband does love me, and I have to stop responding to everyone and being glued to my phone because it's not healthy, and I'm getting more anxious here. Thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.